Alright folks, it is a slow day for news, so therefore I went and I poked around the Russian servers and their websites. It turns out their common test patch notes for 1.20 is a little bit different, especially including a stun mechanic rework for artillery shells. Nobody's talking about it. Let's talk about it. Now, why the concern or interest on the Russian server? Well, they have actually predicted or released the nerfs to experimental equipments and announced the dates prior to the other servers. That's interesting. It happened last week. So they have become a testbed of sorts for new mechanics for World of Tanks, like how Blitz is like testing new vehicles like the ISM or the Yo tanks, now with the Japanese tank destroyers and second line of heavy tanks, so a testbed of sorts. But let's take a look. Overhaul of the stun mechanic. It's translated from Russian obviously, but remove the ability to damage yourself. Does it remove the ability to drown yourself? Is that a thing? No. Has become impossible to stun yourself or allies in existing modes, so you cannot stun teammates anymore. Stun does not extend if it hits an enemy that's already stunned, so there's no compounding stunning. That's nice. Duration of the stun effects on the crew are now fixed values, so static values, not a range or RNG, no longer depending on amount of damage dealt or the armor of the opponent being hit. However, there still may be depending on equipments like spall liners or something. Yeah. Sphincter. What? Splinter? Liner? Spall liner. Equipment has now additional parameter. Reduce the effect of stun on crew. Okay. Remove parameter that affects duration of additional stun. So additional stun is not a thing now. Alright. Increase the reward for vehicles that are caused by the stun. Or, okay, so you get more stuff out of it. More credits or XP out of your artillery. Remove minimum stun duration and maximum stun duration, so it cannot be less than 5 seconds. You have to be stunned for 5 seconds at least. It does not overlap or compound, but the wording stunning statistics is added, has been replaced with disorientation. Stun from artillery, mines, bombers. He sees description as crew stun, so okay, make it more uniform in terms of nomenclature. Fine. Terms of campaign missions have been revised. That's personal missions, so they have been changed to incorporate the different stun. Simplify task conditions to stun more vehicles due to decreasing potential stun. So they're reducing the potential stun for artilleries, but inability to apply a second stun or compounding your stun effects together, as well as reworking a consumable for subsequent updates. But alright, let's take a look at the artillery shells. But tier 10 is the object 261. So you had a range of 11.6 to 29 seconds. Now it's 20 seconds baseline. So flat out, you're getting 20 seconds of stun. There's no compounding additional stun, but you're stuck for 20 seconds at high tier. Lower tier is a little bit better with the SU5 or SU122A, but you're statically stunned for 20 seconds. There's no ifs, buts, or ands or about it. Let's see, GWE100. What the hell is that? You're stunned for 21.7 seconds. No question asked. What is the biggest caliber? It's a 240, right? 24.5 seconds. So yeah, you better use your med kits. But god, that is that is long. So no minimum stun duration. No application of the armor based on the stun. Like sometimes you hit the gun, it doesn't even hit the actual vehicle. So you get like 5 seconds of stun or something from large caliber guns. But I mean, wow, 19 seconds for the autoloader artillery. I mean, it has like what, 4 rounds? 5 rounds? I think it was 4. But second largest gun is 23 seconds. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if you're getting constantly stunned, fine. But they remove the static low roll and the static high roll for a flat number. So there's no more RNG. You're just basically getting stunned, period. For a substantially higher number than what you would like if you're driving a larger vehicle with armor. So originally, if you're driving a well-armored heavy tank or tank destroyer, you get a low number roll. But now, it's all the static same number of 23 seconds compared to your original 13 seconds. I mean, you're still using the medkit, but that doesn't feel good. I mean, it's good if you're playing a low armor target like a tank destroyer without armor or a medium tank. You don't get that much more stun out of it, so you won't get like 30 seconds of stun. But it's worse for heavy tanks or tank destroyers with armor. Since you get low rolls, now you get higher rolls in terms of the stun duration. Or at least that's what I'm understanding. Decrease maximum stun duration, but increasing minimum stun duration. So I don't know how I feel about that, but they did change some of the personal missions for it, so that's nice. I mean, can we get a personal mission update for high explosive shell nerf, especially one for the French? Like you have to do module damage up to like 20 times. With the high explosive nerf, you cannot even do that anymore, or very hard to do that unless you get a fire or ammo rack or something. But god, that sucks. So they did change the number of stun, so reducing the stun durations or number of stuns, which is nice. I mean, get to finish your Object 260s or the 726 practically. Alright, I mean, it's fine. So they did change. At least it's well coordinated with the actual nerf or buff to the stun duration. So that's nice. I mean, initially it's changing the actual parameters of the shells or the mechanic, and Wargaming will wait like a year and a half to do the personal missions. At least it's well coordinated. You're having the personal missions change with the actual mechanic change, but I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's not that big of a rework. It does help if you have the spall liners or some of the crew perks or field modifications, but it sucks for heavy tanks and tank destroyers originally rolling low in terms of the RNG, now getting a static number. But then again, you're getting more consistent with medium tanks and light tanks getting hit by artillery shells. I don't know how I feel about that. Also, I was poking around and the map changes are practically the same, yada yada. But what is interesting is this thing, WZ111 MT for China. I cannot find it. It is supposed to be a tier 10 premium copy of a WZ111 5A, but I want to see the actual vehicle. There's nothing in the game files. I tried to look it up on the comment test. It's not on the other servers, so Leicester Studio is doing their thing, I guess. It's not at tier 8, it's not at tier 9 or tier 10. I cannot find it. I even look in the actual script files. So if you go into res folder for your comment test, go into packages, you can look up all the vehicles with script files. So where the hell is script? There it is. Open up with 7-zip, scripts, item defs, vehicles. It's Chinese. And at the bottom are usually the newer tanks like the WZ or the BZ rocket tanks. So this thing is new, the WZ1226 F3. This is the 116 F3. They call it the WZ122 F3 or 6 F3. So there's no WZ111 MT for some reason. This is the 122 TM, the WZ122 TM. So it's not exactly a new vehicle. So there you go. I have no idea what this vehicle is. I mean, there's so many WZ111s, so why? But whatever. There you go, folks. A quick video on stun duration mechanic rework on the Russian server. So, I mean, they're changing a lot on the Russian servers, but some of it will likely drizzle out or drip onto the other servers if it's successful on the Russian server. But I don't know how I feel about this. I feel pretty good about the personal mission rework. But yeah, it's at least I can give him that. At least it's well coordinated with the actual mechanic change with the personal missions. It takes like a year and a half on the other servers, or even anything for the other servers, to update the personal missions regarding to the mechanic change, like the high explosive shell rework. Stupid. Well, as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.